All right. Welcome back, everybody. Thought I'd do a quick shrink rip. Let's do a 2-for-1 type of deal here, and kind of get this over and done with, so that folks can have a quick look. Uh, Hollenspiel were kind enough to send me a copy of Brian Train's District Commander Kandahar, set in Afghanistan 2009. So it's dealing with the Kandahar region and using the District Commander system to represent that. We'll have a look at the back of the box in a second. Let me just pull all the doohickeys out here. Here we go. So I'll let you read at your leisure here, but in essence, this is an area control game that has strategic objectives that are selected by each side using a card, and then you run through a continuum basically of activations. And you determine how many points you want to spend. Do you want to go into a deficit with that spending? Do you want to preserve some for later responses or reactions, as the case may be? And hey guys, welcome. I see a couple of people joining in here. Say hi. I saw Rob said hello. So it's an interesting, very fluid game system, and I've only played I can't remember the name of it now, Virtualia or something like that. It's basically Venezuelan District Commander, but it's an abstract title. So I thought it might be fun to see how it plays with a real world situation. And I had a couple observations on the contents in the game that we'll get into in a minute, but I it's just they're minor things. But here we have the module specific rules, very brief, 4 pages basically, including scenario setups, full color, pretty well laid out, and pretty straightforward, and a very simple and abstract sort of artwork that goes into all this. The one big difference in this game, of course, is going to be the Pakistan box, where one side can't enter into that box and the other side can use it as a staging area. There are a wide range of different functional benefits that you can bring to one side or the other by deploying a double agent or using IEDs and suicide bombs and all that sort of fun stuff. And that's your setup instructions right there. So it's a historical scenario, and then there's a couple of other bits and pieces here. Nice photograph there. I like that. So Brian Train design. Brian, I think, does some of the, was probably one of the first guys to actually design coin-based systems, and they did some work with Runke as well, and they did not District Commander. They did the Distant Plane together and things like that. So I don't know who learned from whom, but nevertheless, I know Brian's been doing this style of game for a long time. So he does a really interesting job of blending politics, strategy, and military effect into games. The Ukraine game that he designed, I really enjoyed that. Now, so that's that, right? Now the map is actually pretty interesting. I really enjoyed opening this up last night. It's pretty late when I did so, but I think that's evocative of the era and the period, and obviously the geography with the color palette and stuff like that. Now these zones are basically where the bad guys hide out, and the good guys have got to try and expose the bad guys and bring them out into the public domain so they can be mitigated or dealt with. It's not all about combat. You're trying to win hearts and minds here as well. There are many different ways in which you can garner support for one side or the other. So I like the map. If you served over there, you will probably recognize some of these regions or sub-regions inside the Kandahar area. Very cool. It's a nice thick, it's got a little bit of a gloss to it, nice thick paper. In this game, you've got these all-purpose tracks. You've got these tracks. You've got to keep your activation points on this here, one for each side, and then as you use units up, they will be placed here, or if they're eliminated, as the case may be, and then you'll have recruitment capabilities, and then these are the different strategy options that you have. Little mission chart. Then the series rules, 14 pages, of which 2 pages are optionals. Actually, 3 pages are optionals if you include the back page there. So pretty straightforward game system, really. Like I said, it's literally just a continuum. There is some element of secrecy in this, so it's a little different. For solo play, you're just gonna have to work it out, right? Do what you would probably do best for each side, regardless. Work it out from there. The cool thing, which I think there have been some other videos done on this, or maybe some articles written by other folks, but I hadn't seen a shrink rip, so I thought I'd do one. Hey, I see we got a few people, and I'm just sort of talking away here, so sorry if I've missed comments. It doesn't look like I have. If you have checked in, please joined us, please say hi. So counters, they're thick. It's the classic Hollandspiel counters with the kind of satin finish and thick and chunky and all that sort of good stuff. You're going to see these all blank on the back, but basically these are your combat units. These are your combat resolution and event resolution chits, of which you will have a hand of in essence, and you'll choose which counter you want to use depending on what capability you're trying to take advantage of, and then match that off against the other player. And that's probably where, when you're trying to play solo, that would make it a little bit difficult, because I've found when I'm playing solo, I have the tendency to try and one-up myself, right? So if I'm doing a certain action and I play a 4, well, then the other guy's like, well, I'm going to play a 4 too. So that can kind of outbid yourself when you're playing solo with this. But anyway, so there's that. So this is going to be fascinating to play. I will be putting this on the table. Probably I've got to get From Salerno to Rome played. And where's that other game? The Shores of Tripoli, or whatever it's called. I got to get that. I've got it set up in my other room. I need to get that done as well. I haven't started yet. And then we'll get to this and the Iron Curtain. But anyway, I thought this would be kind of interesting. John Connor, good to see you, sir. Welcome. You're always a regular. Let's see. So that's this. Now, here's what I wanted to, the comment I did want to make, and I thought would have been a little more evocative for the game system, but then now as I think about it, because it's got a base series of rules, you probably can't change stuff. You'll notice that, where is he? Where's that Che Guevara guy? Where is that counter? Yeah. So this is a command center or counter. It's Che, right? So it would have been cool to have a turban-laden dude, right? And I think also the criminal units are a little unusual in this particular module. I don't know how they're going to be used or applied, or even if they are used in this game. But it would have been nice to have some more sort of Afghanistan-specific counters. But then, because you've got these series rules, as I'm thinking about it on the fly here, because you've got these series rules, you're going to have to, you would have to transfer your imagery in your head about the individual forces. So anyway, so that's probably not a criticism that is worth leveling. So there's that. Okay, let's put this all back in the box. Of course, excuse me, it does have the wonderful Blue Panther smell. It's just the scent of the printing is very strong. All right, there's that. Now, Iron Curtain. My buddy and I, Pete. Oh, here's shows you Tripoli. So much for that. That's the box. Let's get Iron Curtain over here. So, excuse me. Let's see. Iron Curtain. So my buddy and I, Pete, ordered this together just because, hey, it's the World War III and why not? Neither of us, I think we kind of played out our enthusiasm for the SCS system quite a while ago. But since then, I've played Panzer Battles and I didn't mind it at all. I thought it was an okay design. And when I saw that Carl Fong was going to be the game designer and for this particular game, and we all know how deep OCD he gets on his research, I thought, well, we better give it a shot. And of course, great artwork on the cover as well. I've already had a quick look at this, have not gone into this in any detail at all, right? So we know that there are a significant number of scenarios, and this is the largest scenario book slash special rules booklet I've seen for an SCS game. It clocks in at 52 pages. There's some charts in the back, but there's all these different scenarios. So it covers everything from a post-45 end of World War II through to a 1989 scenario. So it's a really interesting concept to try and put all of that into one box. And I think from the feedback I'm seeing and hearing, they've done an excellent job. So good outlined sequence of play, full color booklet too, by the way. So that's really, really nice. MMP tends to mainly do black and white stuff. So you've got all your unit descriptions, and if you've read any of Carl's stuff, you'll be well aware of how the air war works. It's a little funky, but interesting way to represent strategic air capability and the air war over time. Weather's obviously going to play a factor in here as well. There's some terrain mods, and then you've got your air mobile units, tension levels for the run up to any sort of nuclear warfare. You've got your airdrops, and there's your nukes. And then you've got all these different optionals for the scenarios, and then some designer notes, which I have not had a chance to read yet. Okay. And then historical notes for each scenario, which are going to be fun to read actually before I even play. And then you've got all the setup stuff. And I was told by one friend that I needed to check out the CRT and see what I thought of them, but I have not done that yet because I haven't played, obviously, and I'm not going to wait to worry about that. So there's the rule book, module specific rules. Then you got the counters, the classic situation with counters for SCS, right? The yellow bar across the bottom means they're all exploit capable. Counters are standard MMP thickness. They're not too thick, not too thin, just right. I've got this text message just sitting here right in front of me, and I can't see anything. All right. Hey, Joe, good to see you. And Doug, good to see you as well. We'll get stuck into this in a week or so. And then the infamous pink counters for the Soviets, which are really just an eyesore to me. I don't know. I just don't know that's going to look particularly nice on the map, but whatever. I did post a ramble last night about this. I was attempting to be funny. I have since deleted it. It was only on Facebook, Facebook Live anyway. But I'd been out, I had a few cocktails and stuff, and I actually showed these counters to some people, and one of them was a gamer, and she was quite amused by the pink, and then I got into it talking about Adam Starkweather's usage of pink as well. And I was wondering if it's some sort of insider designer joke. I don't know. And then I thought maybe it might be a color blindness sort of accommodation, as the case may be. And then I thought, well, if it's going to be a color blindness accommodation, surely we would do something about the green as well, right? Anyway, there you have it. That's what you get. You get pink communists, pinko commies, and pink aircraft, and all this other stuff. Whoops, sorry about that. More units, lots and lots of units. And I'm guessing the bars across the top are going to help denote what era each set is allocated to. I have no idea how they're working that out. I haven't read the rules yet, but we'll dig into that in a little bit. A couple of player displays, the series rules. Everybody knows the series rules. 8 pages of rules, nice and clean and crisp. And these are the CRTs and text for stuff. Map. This is quite a different scale for SCS2. One mapper. Let me move these guys. I have a lot of crap on this table. Let's see if I can get this out of the way without dropping it. Okay. Yeah, I gotta say, I feel a little bit seedy today. I got after it last night with friends, and then came home, and my son and I decided that we should make a couple of different types of Vespa cocktail, Vespa martinis, from the James Bond movie. And I think between the two of us, we only had 5 ounces of alcohol, so 2.5 ounces each, but it was that one extra cocktail that kind of put me over the edge last night. So good news is I got to sleep till 8:30 this morning, so that was good. All right, so this would be north to south, basically. So we got Berlin, the Ruskies, and the East, the Soviets, and Warsaw Pact come in from here, and here are the Czechs, and there's Austria. Be cool to have an expansion on this. I guess you could, right? Have a 2-mapper, and do Italy and stuff like that. It stops right here, heading west at Eindhoven, Maastricht, Belgium, and then the southern portion or the southeastern portion of France here, north of Switzerland. So there's Mainz. The Rhine River. Basically, it's the Rhine. Get to the Rhine, right? You've got that big industrial complex there. Got your air superiority track, all that sort of good groovy stuff. So I think this will be really interesting. And if it plays anything like, not that Panzer Battles would be a comparison, but Panzer Battles played very, very quickly. But that could have been because it was chip-based. But anyway, I think this will be fun. I'm hoping that it will be A, fast playing, B, relatively interesting because of the different historical periods. It'd be nice to play these in sequence to see how each era plays out. And that's what I think is so fascinating and such a great idea from Carl's perspective, to really give the wargamer the opportunity to look at every different sort of key period of time. And that doesn't happen very often. Typically when folks build a war game around World War III hypothetical, they pick 85, or if it was next war SBI because of when it was designed, it was the late 70s or whatever it was, with a lot of hypotheticals on equipment. Now we can look back on the war and look at, okay, what was 89 like? What would have happened in 72 or 77, whatever the scenarios are, and go through, does it have it here on the back? Yeah, here we go. So you've got the Don't Fence Me in 1945 Soviet offensive, the 62, 75, 83, and 89, which is pretty cool. Obviously very cute, cute titles for the scenarios. All right, just thought I'd do a quick little run through on some of that. If anyone's got questions, let me just check. Nope, no questions. I'm going to punt then. I'm going to say that's it for the time being. I just want to do a quick little live stream shrink rip and get after it. You guys all have a great day. I'm going to go roll some dice. Ciao.